Hey guys, and welcome to this week's video. This week we are going to take a look at the USS Constellation. So, again, another relatively new premium ship to the World of Warships fleet, sporting quite a very nice, almost periodic camo here to make her look like the US Constellation herself. In the game, she is a Lexington class battlecruiser, based on the design of from around 1919, so just after the end of World War Two. Always something. Sorry, World War One. I apologise. Something I always find pretty amazing about this is that if you look in World of Warships and you see ships like this, and you would think that this is a 1930s 1940s era design, and it's only when you look into it that actually wow, this is a 1919 design. It shows how much the World War One, the Great War as it was known, the progression actually happened with these ships. We will have a little look into the history of this ship though, and see what we can find out, obviously, regarding them. But in terms of the game, well, bit of an interesting one in game. Number one, she is the second battleship, stroke battlecruiser, to enter the game with radar. So obviously it's the short-range American radar that we're all used to. So 10 kilometers, duration of 30 seconds. But she's the second one, obviously the first being the Mighty Mo, a ship that is infamously coming back, but with some changes. I may do a TC News shorty on Thursday about that for you all. So keep your eyes open. I'm still kind of trying to evolve my YouTube content for you to make it relevant. But in game, she's the second battleship or battlecruiser to have this facility. In terms of how I've got mine set out, my crew, my commander, and everything like that, I've gone with main armor mod 1. I've gone with some damage control system mod 1. I've gone with artillery plotting room mod 1 to give me 16% extra range. I find it to be short ranged as standard. So putting that range up to 20.2 kilometers with that extra 16%, I find just makes it a little bit more effective for myself. I've then stacked damage mod 2 and gone with concealment. I don't run the radar upgrade. It is an option, but you would have to drop the damage control mod 1 system. 5% and 3% risk of flooding reduction might be a trade-off that you'd be willing to make. And as always, no spotter plane, I'm running fighter. In terms of the commander, David Riley here, 21-point commander. I've kind of gone a little bit weird on this one because I wanted to see what would happen. So we've stacked emergency repair. We've gone quite heavy on grease the gears, the adrenaline rush, and then basic survivability, emergency repair, concealment, and then brisk. Now obviously these skills are going to change as brisk is going to be dropped down to replace the consumable enhancement skill. A skill which I'm kind of going to miss, if I'm honest, with that change that's coming up, because while it's not usable on a lot of them, the things potentially like the Constellation, like the Italian battleships, from tier 8, 9, and 10, this is actually a really useful skill to obviously just give you that little bit longer on the smoke, on the exhaust smoke for those ships, or the radar in this case. Yeah, I kind of, or the engine boosters available on the French battlecruisers as well. I kind of am going to miss it. Am I going to miss it enough to worry about it? I don't know. We'll have to see when the Great Respec comes in 10.7. But that's the build. That's the setup for you. Yeah, there you go. Concealment wise, with the setup I've got, is 12.2 at sea, 10.5 in the air. 33.3 knots with no speed flag on at the minute, so that's without a Sierra mic. with Sierra Mike, with a full setup, you can comfortably get to almost 38 knots on this ship, with Swift and Silence. So you can get places relatively quick, but there is a trade-off for that, and the trade-off is the armor layout. As you can see, it's not particularly well armored. This is a trade-off that you'll see throughout, from the North Carolina, the Iowa, the Montana, um, the Florida as well. It's the trade-off for having a fast, maneuverable, relatively speaking, battleship as opposed to a well-armored. It's the difference between the all and nothing and the fast battleship. Thoughts. Survivability-wise, we have 63,300 HP with a 20% torpedo reduction. Guns that you see here is 4 double-mounted 406 Mark 5 caliber, so 16-inch guns, as you would expect to find. These are similar to the guns on the Kansas and the Colorado. Excuse me. You've got a range of 127mm guns in double mounts, dotted around the ship, 5 on either side. She then has the first US Navy battleship in the game to mount torpedoes. 9.2 kilometer, 55 knot torpedoes, similar to the ones you'd find on the Sims, for example. So they're not particularly quick. They do pack a reasonable punch at 16.3k, and with a 9.2 kilometer range, they're actually pretty rangy. So beware if you get close to one of these, as you'll see in the replay coming up. In terms of her AA is pretty strong. 30 20 mil, 16 double mounted 20s, 12 40mm, and 10, and all these 127 mils are dual purpose as well. So her AA is pretty well stacked. So yeah, she's actually a really nice tier 8 battleship. So a bit of history about the Lexington class for you. Now, officially, they were the only battle cruiser to ever be ordered by the US Navy. They did order 6 of them. They requested them in 1911 as a reaction to the Japanese build of the Congo class. Things didn't go to par because, as we know, they were included in the Naval Act of 1916. And like the South Dakota class, they were also included. The construction was repeatedly postponed in favour of escort ships and anti-submarine warfare. They were redesigned several times. Initially, they were going to have 10 14-inch and 18 5-inch guns, but by the time they'd finished, they were going with the 16s that we see here and the 6-inch guns and a slightly lower top speed. And then, the 4 ships, they did actually lay down the hull of one. They got as far as laying the hull down before they cancelled it. The 4 ships that were eventually cancelled and scrapped in 1922 with the Washington Treaty was the Lexington and the Saratoga. The 2 were actually built. Lexington and Saratoga were actually converted to become the first aircraft carriers in the fleet aircraft carriers for the US Navy. So, as you know, in World of Warships, if you go to the line, you'll see the Lexington aircraft carriers. So, as it says, she was converted from unfinished battlecruisers. Good armor, advanced torpedo protection, as we've just seen, numerous dual AA and things like that. Obviously, big changes had to be made in order to in order to be able to convert from the battleship to the Lexington herself. But the whole design, as you can tell, is still there. Albeit, obviously changed from the level up there, but you can still tell it was once. You can still tell how it lays out. So there you go. We went from a battle cruiser that we now have in game to an aircraft carrier. So I think she's pretty interesting like that. Obviously, the Lexington and Saratoga went on to have very distinguished careers throughout World War II. But it's pretty cool. We've actually now got the Lexington class battle cruiser in the game. As we know, it's a design. As we know, it kind of never happened, although to be fair, the fact that they actually got as far as having the hulls built that they then converted into aircraft carriers tells us how close they were to actually completing these ships. So really, really interesting, I find that myself. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the replay coming up, guys. I think it's pretty good fun. Yeah, see you in the replay. Thanks, guys. The replay section of the Constellation review for you. I will preference this by saying, as you can see, this is the most favourable matchmaking you can possibly get when you're playing your tier 8. There's a tier 8 carrier, there's a tier 8 battleship, and there's a single tier 8 destroyer. This is the luckiest matchmaking possible. As you can see as well, we are on the Haven match in a domination game. There is a storm as well, so we are going to head up down the 3 line. The usual horn activity is in action, and while we're at it, I'll just show you how I set the game up. I run with full interface. We don't have the collision. Team lineups are on. Main battery is on. All scenarios available. But there you go. That's how the game normally looks for me, for those of you interested. So here we go. We're going to head north. As you can see, she's got a really good lick of speed. We are running swift and silent, as you saw before, or brisk, as it's been renamed to. So 38 point odd knots we hit for a short period of time there. Because we're now spotted, that speed is dripping off, but still 35, 34 knots is pretty impressive for such a big ship. Able to push quite aggressively. And obviously with the double 406mm turrets, as per what you would see on, for example, the Kansas or the Colorado, it's still pretty respectable. Heading forward there to support our schooner. There's the enemy Kansas, an enemy T-61, a Flint, and the Fuso. There's also a Z-31 in the cap, so I shouldn't really be pushing as aggressively as I am, but unfortunately, that's just the way I play. So sorry, guys. What can I say? You know, it's a replay from me when these things happen, don't you? So big smoke screens on that corner. We know as well that there is a Flint in that smoke screen somewhere as well. Torpedoes are coming in, but they do stop short, which is lucky. Spotted by the planes. There's the Flint starting to open up on our poor little destroyer. There's the Z-31. Our AA is opening up. My initial thought is I want to get close enough to pop the radar, as you can see. Spot the T-61, spot the Z-31, and spot him, the Flint. Our fist guns are off, and we haven't fired our stern ones yet. Stern ones have fired. The ship is on fire. Torpedoes out. Took a lot of damage, but we've made the turn quite successfully. Our secondaries open up on the Kansas. Do we slide between these tops? If I remember correctly, we do slide between these tops. A bit of a wibble. Bit of a wobble. Nothing we can do about the rockets from the Shikaku, we just have to deal with it. We're still going full forward. We'll let the torpedoes come around, and then we start to make our turn away. Normandy behind us there. So the Kansas and the Fuso are still over here. We have a Devonshire in the middle and an Akatsuki as well on the C cap. We haven't currently got the B cap, unfortunately, so the push was kind of non-plus. We've turned around and we are heading back as quickly as we can do. We're not spotty, but we are taking a little bit of well-aimed, accurate blind fire there. Forward turrets are still coming around and we're still accelerating forward. Priority AA sectored for those incoming Shikaku bombers. A bit of a wibble, but we managed to successfully swat those planes out of the sky there. We're still heading away. Keeping an eye on that corner, because we know that Flint is around there somewhere. Normandy is on the other side of the map. So, taking a look at this Normandy in order to get some shots across. See if we can catch him in the turn. Shots there connecting with the Scharnhorst, who's just on the other side of us. No damage on the Normandy from our shots, unfortunately. So we're still heading back where the rest of the team is, pretty much fighting from the middle of the map. We are down 3 cap. We are ahead on points though, because obviously we have 2 kills as opposed to the 0 kills. Our schooner is making a bit of a push towards this cap again, so maybe against better judgment I decide I want to come and assist him. So I keep having a look this way. The Flint's been spotted yet again, as has the Kansas. I'm more interested on the other side of the map, but Valor gets the better of me, and we have a look around. The Flint is in the smoke. He's just on the edge of our radar. We're spotted by the planes. Torpedoes are going into that smoke. We can see where the Flint is. We put some speculatory shots out. 2 overpens and a penetration. Fire. And we repair the fire. Again, that's something I need to learn to police better. I am too quick to pull that trigger. Nelson taken down by fire by the New Mexico there. And in the midst of all of that, the Flint was actually taken down by the torpedoes from our schooner. So really well done to him. We're going to turn on here to take on the Fuso and the Kansas. Bit of a brave move this. Not the smartest thing I've ever done. Shots looking here at the Kansas. We switch our aim. Torpedoes coming in there from the Z-31. We managed to wiggle. We managed to parry. We've got a Zara assisting us with the Z-31. Torpedoes coming in there on the other side from the CV. Floods and incap. Repairs done. We're just going to keep on pushing. We're going to turn in ever so slightly to give us a bit of an angle. We do still eat 9k of damage. Radar is activated. Repair is active. Slow down, wibble back. We do take a torpedo. and we get the torpedoes off on the right hand side. Turn around, torpedoes aimed onto the fuso, torpedoes off on that side.
Ship destroyed.
Can we survive this? Can we get away? No, we can't. But we're happy to say neither can the fuso, because with a 1, 2, 3, he starts to flood and he's out of there.
Enemy battleship sunk.
So we get the devastating strike and a flesh wound, 85k of damage. And as you can see, while we've been tying up the Kansas, the Fuso at this end, and the CV, our team has managed to take control of the Charlie Cap. This is now a win for us. We've got a double point win, double the points. Really nice and an easy win. So let's have a look at those post-game stats. Bit of a cool game there. I hope you enjoyed. 85,702 damage. Not a huge amount, but we did pretty. I think we definitely carried our weight and did pretty well there. 560,498 credits in that game, and a comfortable 1,711 base XP. Obviously, flags and camos and stuff like that did inflate it. A flesh wound and a devastating strike, always good fun to get those. And 31 planes knocked out of the air as well. The highest, I think, in our team, if I remember correctly, by a long way. So clearly the enemy Shikaku was going for that, going for the must kill new ship mode. Anyway, it was a lot of fun to play that game. Is she worth buying the Constellation? Well, at the time of this video going together and working out, it's one of those that, is she going to be available permanently? Is she not? I kind of don't think it's going to be something we'll see often, this ship. She is a little bit on the strong side, but if you are after something, if you like the American battleships, if you've got good American battleships cruisers, if you like playing the Georgia, nipping about with those big powerful guns, she could be a good option for you. And the fact that she's got that radar, the utility of having the radar along with the torpedoes as well, does make a big difference in my opinion. Of course, your own mileage is available. She's £36 and 2p in the premium shop. She's cheaper than other ones by a couple of quid, and I think she's worth it. Yeah, I think she's okay. It's been quite nice to actually play and review and work with the Weimar and the Constellation over the last couple of weeks. It feels for the first time in quite a while we've actually got two pretty well balanced ships, and I know that seems unbelievable and unfathomable, but at no point in playing these ships have I felt, like, oh my god, these are so strong, and or, oh my god, this is so weak. I've not felt that at all playing the Constellation or playing the Weimar, as you saw last week's video. They've just felt like nice, good ships, and genuinely good value. I still stand by the fact that I think if you want to spend money in World of Warships, the best thing that you can do is premium time. But if you want a ship and you love your American battleships, and you wish that you could have a Colorado that was a bit quicker, well, we've got the Constellation class Battlecruiser now. We've got the Constellation here. It's nice. It's actually a genuinely nice ship. Enjoy the post-game stats as they come up. Thank you for watching. If you've got this far, please leave a comment, a like, and subscribe if you're new as well. We're getting tantalizingly close to that first 1,000 subscribers, which is brilliant. As I said, I'm still evolving the content on the channel and trying to figure out how I want to play it. If you've got any ideas, if you've got any suggestions, I'm always open to them. I've got 11 replays that I need to put together and sort out, so as soon as they're all done and uploaded, hopefully I'll be in a position with some new content again as well. But it should give at least 11 weeks worth of content on the channel for you. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a great time. See you, everybody.